Most people would call my behavior crazy. Good for them. To end this, any more talk of witchcraft, Mr. Horde, and off to hospital with you. As long as Susie Pratt holds my hand. Well, I guess I should define the language so it's not seen as a threat. This is my family with a pitchfork behind me. This is that disgusting circle jerk shit I talk about. And this is when, one of the intelligent people would lock on and try to fill my head with more bullshit. Perfect example. Make them take you to the hospital for the blood draws. Yeah, so you can have more cases, especially now that the Kentucky Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional. My family were all crazy. I'm not saying I'm sane. But then again, I didn't go around smothering people with pillows and pushing people down flights of stairs and poisoning them with bleach and diesel fuel. I didn't believe that demons could be expelled from people. I didn't believe fags burned in hell. Guess what? I have the pictures pulled up of the day Dana Belcher kicked me out of school for looking better than her. There was something else that I was going for and lost my train of thought. It is getting late. Oh, getting my ass handed to me after the same teacher asked my sister and her group of friends to make some video project entitled Transvestite Melodrama. Then chewing my ass out for writing a short story about two gay men getting married and adopted. Came true, didn't it? Not that I can take any credit for it. But anyway, the ending with my family. Just like I had mentioned, that movie Hereditary with that Tony woman who played in some show about DID, which was interesting too. Straight down to that noise. To the pre-approved children with their snappy bands in conversion reparative therapy as well. I hear you in the bathroom. I started wearing an extra hairband just to piss him off. They had put me through all that stupid shit when I was younger, too. I sure as hell wasn't going to play along. Especially not with one of the pre-approved children in the brass ring. Well, if I understood his sister correctly, he tried to drown her at least once in a swimming pool. Did I mention that Mason County Sheriff's Department office and their associates threatened to kill us and burn our house to the ground because of my voicing concerns about their drug-peddling pieces of shit? Not to mention Stephanie Gollenstein Schumacher's drug-peddling department. Hey girls, I'm here to take my husband out to lunch. He's going to force me to listen to Rush Limbaugh and I'm going to want to pull my hair out, but it's called love. He's lucky I didn't go to a judge and ask them to enforce Casey's law with his ass in 2012. But I didn't, did I? I had had about all I could take, especially with that truck overturning on my father. A man who you would have thought would have died from COPD a decade earlier with as much as he smoked. No, he never had any problems until that contract truck traffic from Carmoose, North America, overturned on him. Not to mention their blasting, creating mudslides in our basement in the Mason County house. The blasting and the erosion making the fucking electric lines fall into the creek. I hope nobody was up or downstream. Last time I was in Mason County, I noticed they'd moved all the electric poles to the other side of the road, right through the middle of that new orchard I put in. I had gone in to decorate the graves. My name's still on part of the farms as far as I know. I had every right to drive by and check them out. They looked fairly normal to me. The hay looked like it needed cut, but oh well. Harry Bly was still alive, napping on his front porch. Well, when did you get that car? I've only had it 8 years, Uncle Harry. Uncle Wendell and Uncle Harry and Uncle Charlotte and Aunt Tony. I'm pretty sure Charlotte let Tony drive that town car sometimes. That was Charlotte Wentz's school. I like Betty Walton way better. Betty was the saint and Bob was definitely a sinner. Oh, the Waltons. Oh, the Waltons. And the Vices. And the Hulls. And the Boggs. And the Winses. And so on and so forth. Don't forget the Ingrams. Man, when you hit the nail right on the head so many times, usually makes a lot of people upset. Oh well. In my mind, why didn't they have some other judge sign that form? Lewis County or Fleming County? Have any one of the people I know outside of this area claim I threatened them? Why in the hell did Mason County sign that? File AOC form blah blah blah. No, I don't think I'll be doing that. Oh no. So shall I talk about the Shanklin date rape situation in downtown Maysville with their bars and the MCDC guards moonlighting and Maysville Police Department playing right along? I'm assuming the people who came forward to me to talk about it thought I could go to Blitzen, Mr. Boggs, and tell him what was going on. Girls, you're at a dead end. I don't know what to tell you all. The only thing I know to do is go public with it. I'd really rather not. I mean, I'm no saint either. But I will. Especially after Brown County threatened to throw me in a straitjacket for talking about their shit. It's like, what in the hell's that? I forgot. I need another cup of tea. Well, I don't need it. I'm going to drink one anyway. You'll never meet many people as brutally honest as I am. Then again, after all that undocumented medical stuff, I don't notate sarcasm very easily. And that's just for starters. People think that my sense of humor and sarcasm are wildly outrageous, but guess what? That's part of the symptoms of this neuropsychiatric nonsense that they created. It's PTSD in my opinion, but I'm no doctor. Between the rapes, the assaults, the constant bullying from religion, school, social society, it's trauma to me. That's why I advocate for the children in these states trying to sue the federal government to overturn the newly extended Title IX protections. They need knocked in the nuts. Kids die from being suffocated during that conversion reparative therapy stuff. I know all about it. So not only was there that aspect of, you will stay in there and abide by us, and you're not gay, and blah, 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 to we can beat the demons out of you if you don't repent on your own and vomit them up. I cannot begin to describe the horror in enough detail. You all read all the words, and as I said, probably think, what in the fuck is that person on? I might be wearing a nightgown, but it is night. And I am a non-conforming gay man. I'm medicating, just like I always talk about. I'm not running to the refrigerator to raid it or falling in the floor. I'm assuming Eric Crawford, after reading the symptomology, feels like he's living inside of a tornado all the time. Well, welcome to my mobile world after being bludgeoned, them knocking afterwards and letting me fall asleep. Then poisoning me. And Patrick Boggs' own family, giving them a pat on the back for doing so. My father walked out of Randy Harris's office smiling so big that day it's a wonder his false teeth didn't fall out. Well, I could be wrong on the name. Peggy Crumb is the guidance counselor. I don't remember the nurse's name that had the nose cancer. Susan Grayson, Vicki Denton Sapp, and I believe it was Randy Harris as principal, but I could be wrong. God knows my short-term memory's gone to shit, and it's not because of this stuff. Those antipsychotic drugs caused an increase in dementia-like symptoms. After that, when I was a kid, I had to get down on all fours just to get up and down the stairs. Of course, my parents refused adequate medical attention. They didn't want to have to answer any questions. But when my mother had her episodes and we would have to go to comprehend, do the social check stuff, they would demand I leave the room. And if I refused to leave the room to discuss what actually was going on at home, my sister would grab me and yank me out of the room, and that'd be the last thing I would remember for a while. Because let's face it, I'm brutally honest. Just like that time my sister drunk on Jack Daniels in her bedroom with Jay Henderson. Don't ever let Dad get to you. Where in the hell have you been? I sure as hell don't bring that shit home with me. Her band jacket with the stain. I don't remember if it's the right or left breast now. Something's telling me the left, and I'm probably right. Or maybe it was the right one, I don't know. The day we picked it up and Dad's version of taking care of business. I got beat up over that, too. The only thing we ever took to the cleaners in our life. Her band jacket. But they couldn't afford albuterol for a severe asthmatic child. So shall I talk about my Aunt Donna and tampons up bad little boys' butts? Or Bud and Judy's hand in trying to haze drug underage children? I was hazed with cannabis and alcohol when I was 7 years old. Hazed. A child can't consent to sex or drug usage at that age, especially one who'd been bludgeoned and didn't have a fucking clue. I sure as hell didn't turn to it. After I got older and much sicker and realized that it was a treatment, an alternative, did my research into clean product, and actually began medicating with it, it is the only thing that has ever worked for me that didn't make me want to off myself on all aspects. Opiates help with, psych symptoms as well, including depression, but the side effect profile of them is horrific. Hence the opioid epidemic. Hell, that's half the reason people do opiates, because they're bored. So ignorant. Opiate-based pain management that was necessary ruined my gallbladder to the point I was vomiting at least 5 times a day. Had it removed, and that problem went away. Between law enforcement slamming my jaw shut because they couldn't stand my mouth to dry mouth, my teeth became shattered to the point I said, pull them. Who cares about appearances? It was a never-ending story, and you best believe it was a hate crime based on disability, religion, because I couldn't buy into their version of Christianity. It was too culty. If we tell you that is no such thing as a prion disease, and that squirrel brains are the delicacy they are, you will eat them. To sexual orientation, are you gay? To gender identity, is that a woman's coat? We told you to have a buzz haircut. Your nails are too long. So those Brown County kids, the sheriff told them to just get along with the people threatening to kill them, setting their shit on fire. What, does Patrick Boggs work over there too? So maybe the video tale story of it'd probably be much more interesting if it were daytime. I definitely show more soul and anger about it. Maybe it's best I'm posting it when I'm tired. And not doing anything. Just imagine being severe asthmatic and having that activity-induced bronchospasm to boot as a farm kid who was being sex trafficked. They can claim what they want to. They'd never tell the truth anyway. Not that they even could. My father smoked marijuana, a closet smoker. My sister was using whatever and drinking by the time she was a junior in high school, and my mother was on how many rounds of antipsychotics? Less so because of her own shit, and more so because of what dad and my sister were doing and how they were behaving, and my father would have driven anybody crazy. The only time he was content was when his siblings were around and them discussing the old mill where we stored hay, reminiscing about yesteryear. Their mother making them dresses out of feed sacks, and their father sitting in between them when my mother's father would stop by on the way home from Carmoose and give them pieces of chewing gum, flirting with them. To my Aunt Betty, who died of early onset Alzheimer's, taking their mother shopping, and my grandfather taking a brand new pair of long johns in the package and throwing them straight into the fireplace. So, Dad's being kind of abusive. That's nothing. Our father... he died how long ago? To my mother's side of the family, always making fun of how prim and prissy I am. I don't think they're laughing now, are they? Stephen and Sherry and their love for adult entertainment. Bud and Judy and their hand in the drugs. David and Jane and the shoemaker's side of conversion reparative therapy. Brother Wes and Aunt Mary told her? What would I know? If my